flames or the ashes, the spirits light up the night, looking down.
Now, from the Untold Radio Network, it's Untold Radio AM with Doug and Alex Hajicek.
Hey, y'all. Hi to everybody in chat that said hello. Alex still hasn't set me up where I can actually chat. Do you believe that? I have no privilege.
Oh my gosh.
He keeps saying he's gonna, so everybody bug him. What's happening with you guys? They're keeping Grandpa in the closet.
He's coming out of the closet,
Yeah,
guys.
you gotta get me so I can chat. Anyhow, hello everybody.
Hello.
We have a really good show tonight. I believe, I think.
Yes.
I hope, I plan.
I plot.
I'm plotting. So tonight we have part 2 of researcher from Georgia, Kristen Payton, and that is going to be part 2. We're going to pick up where we left off last time.
Yes, we are.
And then we've got tech breakdown, we've got trivia, we've got some really good clips, and we have 5-minute witness, and then we have another new little tiny section.
Baby size.
Yeah, baby size. So did you notice how blue the skies have been all week, Alex? I mean, it's been beautiful weather.
It has been.
It has. And of course, prayers go out to all the people in the southeastern part of the U.S. that have been flooded and beat up and, just everything. It's horrid.
It is.
Prayers go out to all you guys, and I hope to God you all get help soon. I once had my home destroyed, and it is not fun. It's just, it's horrible. So
it is.
But during the same time, they were having horrible weather. We were having really weird, good weather. Like, I never even saw a contrail in the sky all week. Nothing. Like just blue skies, no clouds, not even a jet contrail. Let alone what do you call those? Chem? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We don't say that.
We don't say that.
Because that would be a conspiracy. We're not going to say that.
Right. We don't want to become unalived.
No. No. Good point. So I was at the workshop condo last night with Eric. Right. I don't even know if Eric, he might be in chat here tonight.
Hi, Eric.
So we had some real weirdness happen last night. Can't explain it. I mean, we're both like, no way we could explain it. First off, we get done with our project, and he's going to grab the garbage and take it out to the dumpster. So I'm going to meet him, right, in my car, in his car. We drove separate. But while he leaves, I'm just about ready. I'm unplugging a few things, and I hear this like tongue clicking behind me. And I just thought it was Eric. So I turn around. There's nobody there. I get a chill. I'm thinking, did a frog get in here or something? You know what I mean? Some little mammal or little deal. And so I'd walk a little bit and I'd be quiet, and then I'd stop and I'd hear that tongue clicking again. And you know what I did finally? I just said, screw it. I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with it. I don't know what it is. I want to deal with it. Okay. So then this is where it gets weird. So I meet him at the gate, security gate. I got to hit a button. So I hit the button, gate opens. I go out. He's right behind me at that point, but I'm not. Now I got to focus on the traffic in front of me. I got to turn left or right, and I'm going to turn left. So I'm focusing, and there's only one way to my home. There's only one road that gets there. So I pull out, and I gun it because I'm in a hurry. I want to get home for the debates last night. I want to get a pizza and some food and enjoy the debates. Okay, I don't want to be late. So I'm going pretty fast, and I get lucky. No red lights, hit every green light. Nobody, not one car passes me, even though most of it's even just one lane. I get there, and Eric's there ahead of me.
He beats you somehow.
There's no way he could beat me. He thought he pulled right behind my garage door because he knew I'd be home. Because I skidded out of there really quick. He never passed me. In fact, not only did he not pass me, there was not one car ever in the back of me, in my,
You didn't even see
headlights in
any
your
vehicle.
rearview mirror. Never
Yeah.
even a car.
Not a single one.
No. So what do you make of that? He goes, glitch. I'm like, glitch. It's got to be a glitch. But here's the weirdest part. Here's why we both said glitch. Because the last time we were there working on a project, we did the same kind of routine. He went to the dumpster to get rid of all the garbage. And I met him at the gate. There he was waiting for me at the gate. I hit the open button and I pulled out. I didn't look anymore. I just pulled out because he was going home. I get about 15 minutes away and the phone rings and he goes, "Are you going to let me out?" And I'm like, "Dude, you were right there." And he's got a very unique vehicle. And I'm like, "I saw you not only leave, I saw you at the gate and I saw you follow me." But then once again, you have to take your eyes off the guy in the back because you got to pull it into traffic. And he says, "I never even saw you." And I'm like, "Well, somebody has your exact car then." So anyhow, it was a glitch too. So
Another glitch.
that's my glitchy, weird Eric story. By the way, the Bigfoot conference is this weekend up in Grand Rapids that Abe puts on.
Oh, very cool.
So if you still want, I'm sure there's still tickets at the door. If you want to go, go. Still trying to figure out whether I can go. Not sure. Not sure what else we've got. No, that's about it. Other than let's read the news. A little bit of interesting news. SpaceX launched to return these Starliner astronauts that went up for 8 days, and they've been up there well over 100 days now. Could you imagine? It'd be like flying to Disneyland from Minnesota, the jetliner, and you think it's going to take a few hours to get there, and it takes a half year. It's just
whoops.
It's just kind of a whoops. Anyhow, so SpaceX mission is due to unite the Boeing Starliner astronauts. Apparently, they're on the space station, right? So they're going to pick them up. I don't know how this works. It's kind of a relay. I don't think anybody cares how it works. They just, obviously, we want to get them home safe.
Exactly.
Yep, and I know they had one delay because of the Hurricane Helene. I know that threatened the launch, but they have left, and hopefully they'll pick them up and they'll get back. Fingers crossed. Did you hear about the space station warnings?
No.
There's cracks and leaking in the space station.
Oh, no.
I want you to picture that. You're on this thing going, "Oh, no. That would be my worst nightmare to go. There's a leak, and the leak's getting worse." So
what do they do with the leaks they have?
Well, I can quantify the leaking. So they're not sure what's causing the leaks or whatever. I would imagine because it's getting old. So apparently they're in a tunnel connecting the International Space Station with the Russian segment. Okay, so that's where the leak is. And it says the leak is at its highest level, releasing 3.7 pounds of atmosphere per day. All right. And that was just compared to 1 pound in February. So it's over almost 4 times what it was.
Right.
I would not be happy. I would not be a happy camper on that.
No, get out. Get out.
It's like the makings of a movie called The Leak. The Leak. Anyhow, so good luck with that. I would just use bubble gum. No, JB Weld. What would you guys use? All the mechanics. Got a leak. What would you do? Bubble gum. Bub's daddy.
What's that tape? The slap shot or whatever?
Oh, that spray stuff. What's it called? That leak preventer. What's that? The guy that does the infomercials.
You know what I'm talking
Black
about?
bar crappy spray. That's what I do. What the hell? What do you got to lose? Might slow it down. Right?
Flex tape. That's what I'm
Flex
talking
tape.
about.
Yeah, get some flex tape up there. Can you imagine the forces, the outward forces, though, because the space is a vacuum? So,
Have you seen that infomercial?
yeah, the
He saws
flex
a
tape.
boat in half.
Yeah.
Flex tape.
I love that commercial. I love stopping leaks. I just don't wonder what they would do. Alex would probably use donut frosting. Plug it. Okay, then another story from high up. AI uncovers, they're using AI, by the way, to scan the earth to look for hidden, pareidolia.
Yeah.
But is this pareidolia? But AI can unravel that. So apparently, this is in that Peru. I think it's that Nazca Desert area. They have discovered another, carved. What do you call them? They're almost like roads. They're so huge.
Right.
Carved lines. They're not very deep. So apparently they have almost doubled the number of known Nazca geoglyphs. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
These date back 2,000 years.
They can put a gift shop there now.
That's back before our time, 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can put another gift store up.
Sell that on a keychain.
Oh, my God. Although, who knows? Anyhow, enough of that. And then there was a reason to believe animals may be advancing faster than we think. And this photo kind of proves it. Jeff Harding sent this to me, bless his heart. And apparently amateur photographer Martin Lee May from Essex, UK, had recorded an extraordinary image of a weasel riding on the back of a green woodpecker as it flies through the air. So there you go. See, the animals are learning how to, rent a plane.
You imagine an army of them flying at you?
Yeah. That'd be weird. Well, you just you wonder, does the bird like this? Does the bird like waiting for the weasel to get on his back? I believe it. I think so.
I think so.
I do. I think that they're working together. The weasel's obviously fearless. Well, so how much do you think that weasel weighs? Alex, take a guess. What does the weasel weigh?
1 pound.
1 pound. No. That weasel weighs less than a Mars bar. And I'm talking a Mars bar with deflation.
With deflation.
Yeah.
Right.
And, minks are or weasels, they're meat eaters. They're carnivores. They're quite ferocious. If you took a weasel and made him the size of a lion, it would just kick that lion's butt so bad.
You just eat them up.
Yep. And then homeowners are stunned in Arkansas after a horde of feral hogs wreak havoc on yards. And apparently, this is in a town where they've never seen hogs. At least that's what the newspaper says. They're 85 miles from Little Rock. So maybe somebody can chime in on that. Do you ever see wild boars in the Little Rock area? And this is in Gurdon, Arkansas. So apparently these pigs or these wild boars tore up a ton of yards, like just devastated them. And they've learned that they do this with their snout. They dig for grubs and roots and crap. Their snout. Do you know how they do that, Alex, with their snout?
How do they do it?
They bend the knuckle of their front leg, just one, and then they lay down there and really dig their nose in. I don't know. It's not even a worthy article, is it?
I think it's worthwhile.
Okay. Anyhow, these things are coming to a town near you. They are getting worse and worse, and we're getting them from north and south. some point, they're all going to meet in Minnesota. All of them. It's going to be hog wild here.
Good source of protein.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Might have to start hunting them for my caloric intake.
Yeah, you might. With that port strike, you might have to. You heard about the port strike, right? Yeah. Well, I'm not bringing everybody down with that crap. Anyhow, tech breakdown. Let's just jump into that. That's all the news I have for the last week in September and a little bit of October. So let's do tech breakdown.
Okay, can I
The bumper? Yeah, go ahead. All right. First, I want to read a disclaimer that I want to talk about outfitting trucks. Your truck. What can you do to a vehicle, a big vehicle? And I was inspired by certain people, and I want to give them credit. First person was Matt Moneymaker, who had an article on the BFRO site about Bronco. They have this new edition. I think it's called like the Researcher Edition, right? They have the Sasquatch Bronco. Now they've come out with the Researcher Edition, and Matt was suggesting other things that, fell short. So Matt was chiming in, and so I read the article. I went, oh, okay, that's a good idea, Matt. It's called the Searcher model, not the Researcher, the Searcher model. So Alex, get your order in, trade that damn Toyota in, and get a Searcher Bronco. That's why you notice I have a Chevrolet truck in the picture that you haven't put up yet.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a Chevrolet truck.
Yes.
Anyhow, and also inspired by Eric, who is building a just only for research vehicle. So I just taken a bunch of their ideas from the Searcher model, stuff Matt said, and I'm just kind of combining them. So this is Stolen Tech Breakdown.
Love it.
But I will say to my credit, I was the first person to take a 6-wheel vehicle and outfit it with IR cameras front and rear so I could drive in the dark. So there you go. That was a Mysterious Encounters. That was before you were born, Alex. Okay, what are we going to do? Okay, so yes, even if you buy a Bronco, a new thing, or you take your really old 1968 Ford F100, whatever, you can do things to really make a truck really worthwhile. Your brother used to go out in his vehicle because that's kind of a known thing. They will approach vehicles, right?
I've heard that. Yeah.
You go out, maybe you get out, do a little wood knock, or you just go into an area where they're around, in an area they're around, and you sit there night after night after night. That's what Blaine did, man. They went like every night for months till all hours of they wouldn't get back till like 5 a.m. They'd sit out there, and they had a lot of activity. But anyhow, so so we have already established why you might want to do this. But here's some stuff you can think about if you want the ultimate, park and wait research vehicle. Or better yet, you could get in, if you could afford it, get an electric truck, and then you really could have a vehicle you could not only outfit like this, but drive it on the logging roads and double tracks. Okay. What do we want to buy? You are going to want to maybe put a speaker on it. And then you could play like clippity clops of horses to cover up your engine sounds, or if it's an electric truck. Some of these ideas are completely stupid, you understand, but I'm still going to say them because they're still, I think, cool. Could you imagine that? Playing clippity clop, driving in your truck?
Be pretty cool.
Especially in the city, wouldn't it now?
People might get confused.
Yeah. Anyhow, you got to use your imagination here. Okay, you could add a light bar, and then you could add a IR light bar, so you have both with a switch inside. So you can go from regular white light to IR light. Okay. You can add motorcycle dash cams, front and rear, and you can hardwire them in, under the hood, up your dash, and out the back. The cords are long enough. Those cameras are color, automatically turned to IR, and they record, and they're tiny, and they record in the moment there's power to them. They record audio and video. Okay, you can have those. Even though it's not a motorcycle, it's a truck. It's the best dash cam system you can get. I'm sorry. And let's see what else. You're gonna want to have Zoom like tape recorders outside the truck, at least one on each side. All you need is a strip of Velcro. Just stick them on there when you're gonna go before you get to your destination. So this truck's gonna look pretty corny, isn't it?
Yes.
I need commentary here. I'm thinking.
I'm sorry. I'm just taking it all in.
Oh, I bet you are. You're dreaming of something else.
Don't.
Okay, so you got to have your two Zoom recorders Velcroed on, and then you're going to want to put a mini thermal cam up front and out back, two of them, that broadcast wirelessly to your cell phone. So then you're going to need a really good cell phone mount, right? A lot of people want to figure out how to get it to their screen that's already in there,
right?
GPS screen. The hell with that. Don't wait for that. You'll never figure that out.
Do you recommend taking this car on a first date?
Yes, absolutely. What a great first date. Go squatching. I think it would be a big hit. Wouldn't it?
She doesn't love her. Wait,
if she doesn't like it, well, then that's the last date you go on.
Yeah, then you know.
Then you know.
You know.
All right. Well, if you're going to have a motorcycle dash cam, you're going to need, USB plugs. You're going to need a converter for converter from 12 volt to 110. So you can run all this crap. Plus, you're going to be in your car for a long time with the windows up, so you don't get eaten alive by mosquitoes. Maybe you bring in a little USB fan. Keep it cool.
What about in the back? Do you think you could put a harpoon gun?
No. We don't want to kill a creature.
Right.
I just want to film one. You could put a harpoon back there. I don't think the police would like that too much.
On a chain?
On a chain? No.
Not to kill it.
Alex, be quiet now. Shut your imagination off. Okay. You made me lose my place. We do the mini thermal cam front and rear that could be wirelessly. That was Eric's idea. In fact, we covered it in a tech breakdown thing. And really, if you think about it, you need a thermal cam inside too. So you need to buy 3 of them.
3 of them.
Yeah. And then if you don't want your windows up or you don't want the thing to see you, you could use those green garbage bags and pre-make, pre-cut, pre-sew hangers, because you can film through those garbage bags. And now nothing can see. You can put one over the windshield. You can have them on the side windows. And now you're incognito. That looks like no one's home. Nobody's in the truck. And you can record thermal cams right through those garbage bags like they're not even there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So there you go. You're going to need to buy some, small plastic adhesive-based little clips. You can string all these damn wires everywhere. You're going to need that 12 volt to 110 converter. You're going to need a pee bottle, right? Yep. You can't be getting out of your truck and peeing. You're going to get a couple of pee bottles.
Right.
One for you, one for your friend.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just thinking ahead.
So you
recommend a lot, you're going to need 2 pee bottles per person.
You recommend putting the garbage bags on the windows, right?
Yeah, on the windows. So you could have them pre-cut, like you could have a little Velcro and just have them rolled up.
If you're lazy, though, could you throw a garbage bag over yourself and then underneath that?
No, do not put bags over yourself. You will die of asphyxiation. No, do not do that.
Do not listen to me.
Dumb idea, Alex.
Do not listen to me.
No, do not listen to Alex. Okay, so that's cool, though. In fact, I used to, when I was a PI years ago, I used to have my windows really blacked out, but
Like
I had
tinted?
some little holes in there that I could,
So would you put something up, or did you have like a permanent tint to your windows?
Well, no, you have things so you can hang them,
Oh, okay. So you'd hang up
almost like
something,
a curtain. Yeah.
and then you could do investigating. Of
Yeah,
the
you don't need to
curtain.
fasten at the bottom, just at the top. So
Just the top.
if you
Yeah.
have to, you can move it out of the way. But then you need, of course, a camcorder inside, in IR, whatever. You need a thermal cam. You got to bring a couple of lawn chairs just in case nothing's happening. Right?
Right.
Bring a bag of hydrocal if there's footprints around your truck. Bring a logbook so you can write everything down, the weather conditions when you do have activity. And here it's quite exciting to have activity in a truck. I've never done that before, but I've heard of a lot of like major car shoves, getting the car slammed, slapped, banged. I've heard it's actually quite effective. You remember when Blaine was doing that?
Yeah, you got a lot of activity.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, there's some pretty freaky audio recordings. You're also going to need, on those Zoom recorders, you're going to need the mini splitter. So you can put a splitter, you can monitor. You can both monitor with headphones. Because believe it or not, you will hear better with those Zoom microphones.
You think you hear them before you see them, right?
Heck yeah. Yeah, of course. I think. Or you might feel them before you see them.
Yeah, you might feel them, then hear them, then see them.
So there you go. You're going to have the ultimate Sasquatch hunting machine. That's not really hunting. It's just kind of park and wait. It's a Sasquatch surveillance truck, but they're apparently really effective. It's the park and wait. Oh, and by the way, you're going to want Starlink on the roof. You can get the mini Starlink system. Put it on the roof, and now you can stream live. You got all this, Alex? Did you write all that down?
That's a lot. I mean, I'm gonna have to review this episode.
Anyhow, I just think it is a worthwhile thing to do. If you're
it is, but I feel like it would take you a while to get all this really.
No, most people have it all. They just don't mount it and do it proper on their vehicle.
You think you could do it over a weekend?
Yeah, absolutely.
Afternoon.
Absolutely. Me and Eric will have it done in an hour.
1 hour if you're quick.
Yeah, we're the speed converters.
What do you think this would do for research if we had a bunch of vehicles doing research this equipped?
I think it would work.
Because normally people have nothing. Like nothing.
No, people are just, they're in their tent, and it's like constantly hearing, came around my tent. I can hear her walking. My daughter just had that happen to her. It's like, oh, your sister was up camping, and she had a thing was pushing trees down, and then was walking around the tent.
Jeez.
You haven't heard AJ's stories yet, have you?
No, I haven't heard that.
Freaked out, like a ton of trees went over. Like lots of trees. Like boom, boom, trees just crashing down all around her. So kind of scary, I guess.
Whoa.
Anyhow, all right, trivia. You want to do trivia? Let's stump Alex. Who wants to? Oh, by the way, I want to thank all our moderators. John.
You come across as a cool guy, someone is the opposite.
Let's really stump Alex.
I'm sorry, you're gonna hit
just
me.
Cut me
I
off.
slipped. I slipped. My fingers.
What?
My fingers slipped.
My fingers. I get how that happens. You have that Barney Fife trigger finger. Tink. Anyhow, I want to thank our moderators: John Ayers.
Thank you, John.
Catherine Fourfeathers. Raven.
Thank you, Catherine.
I don't know, how many are there? I think that's it. Did I get them all?
I think so.
I want to thank you too, Swope, for being a member. And Ristol. Yeah, we got a lot of really cool regulars. Whatever happened to Buttworm?
Man, he just wormed away.
Come on. How can Buttworm just disappear? Jeez, we had a guy named Buttworm in our chat.
He was a hit.
Hilarious. He was cool dude.
Yeah, he
Oh, he's
was.
just gone. We teased him every show, didn't we?
Yeah, what was that? His wife's nickname for him?
I don't know. So who wants to be in? Who wants to do? Who wants
to stump me?
Who wants to stump Alex? Just say yes in the chat, and I will pick the first person who says yes.
Sly Fox, hand raised.
Is
First
that
one.
the guy? Okay, Sly Fox. Okay.
Great. How am I gonna beat a Sly Fox?
I don't know.
How about a slow turtle?
So, Sly Fox against Alex. I'm keeping score now. I have a pen. All right. Guess what the topic is? Put up photo 6, since you don't know what it is. Put it up. Do you know what that is, Alex?
That is an eel.
That is an electric eel.
Yes.
So trivia is going to be on electric eels.
Yes.
So first question, guys. The electric eel has been the subject of human fascination for hundreds of years and is partly responsible for the invention of the modern battery. True or false?
True.
Alex is true. What say you, Sly Fox? John Ayre said this topic shocking. True. Okay. All right. So you both got that one right. That's right. It's true. That was an easy one, so I started out easy.
Yeah, then you get harder and harder.
Okay. So electric eels belong to the nocturnal species known as neotropical knife fish or neotropical pacu fish. So which one are they? Part of a species?
Neotropical fish.
The pacu or the knife fish?
The pacu.
Okay. Alex says pacu. What say you, Sly Fox? Come on, you guys. Get this.
Get it.
Jen says pacu. Mary says neo. Let's see. John Ayre says knife. Sly Fox. Nice fish. Yeah, knife. I said knife, but yeah, okay. Sly Fox got you, Alex. It's the knife fish.
No.
Not the nice fish, the knife fish.
Yes, the knife.
Electric eels are easily able to stun and even kill animals up to the size of a horse. True or false? That's a big animal. Can kill an animal, stun or kill animals as big as a horse. True or false?
True.
Alex says true. You have a lot of faith in that little eel, do you? John Ayre says true. Sly Fox says true. Okay, you both got it right, so that's fine. And it is true, yes. They put out quite a bit of voltage. So eels are basically classified as a freshwater fish, not an eel. Electric eels now specifically are classified as a freshwater fish. True or false?
True.
It's true. Why did I just agree with you? I didn't even get non-color. You see, you got me all rattled now.
I'm sorry.
I'm all rattled.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so skip that one.
I got it right? You agreed with me.
Yeah, I agree.
Somehow.
I don't know. It was just a reaction. I did that trigger finger thing. It's catching. Okay, of the 3 species of electric eels, apparently one of them, it's called Electrophorus voltae, packs the biggest punch, capable of generating a shocking, is it 380 volts or is it 600 volts? 380 volts or 600 volts?
600 volts.
Alex says 600. What's he, Sly Fox? And of course, play along. Sly Fox says 600. Okay, you're both right again. That's a lot of voltage, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
the voltage in your home is only 110. But I don't think, I wonder how many amps they have. They probably don't have many amps. It's probably like 1 amp. So probably, well, maybe it's more. I don't know. Although extremely rare, there are known deaths to humans caused by electric eels. True or false? There have been human deaths from electric eels.
True.
True or
True.
false?
True.
True? What's the
True.
Sly Fox? Mary Jo says true. Johnny Air says true. Bristol says true. I don't see Sly Fox. He's waiting. He's cheating. It's true. Okay.
Oh,
You both
man.
got it right again. Although rare, yes, they have killed humans. All right. Eels are able to thrive in extremely low oxygen poor environments like stagnant pools and ditches, and they gain around, is it 50% or 80% of their oxygen by gulping air from, the surface. So how much air do they actually breathe like humans? What percentage? 50 or 80?
50.
Alex says 50. What say you, Sly Fox? And other people? Sly Fox says 50. What did you say, Alex? 50. You both got it wrong, so it's a non-counter. It's 80%.
No.
80% of their oxygen is absorbed by gulping air. Okay, now you ready for this one? You'll like this one, Alex. Their anus is located on the top of their head, or is it the bottom of their chin? Is their anus located at the top of their head or the bottom of their chin? Neither sound too fun, do they?
No.
Alex is looking at the picture.
The
Is it their head or their chin where their anus is located?
their chin.
Alex says their chin. Mary says chin. Jennifer says chin. Jeez, Mary Joe Schwimmer says chin. Everybody's chin.
Chin.
Rabbit, you're a little late there on the 80, but yes, that's correct answer. Or Sly Fox, chin or top of the head? Where's their anus located? I'm not sure Sly Fox is listening. Chinny. You say chin too, right, Alex?
Yes.
You
Chinny.
both got it. You both got it wrong. Their anus is
No.
located on the top of their head.
Ah.
Nice. But you both got it wrong. So there you go. Doesn't matter.
What's next?
I was getting an echo. Oh, I'm getting it. Do you hear an echo?
No.
Does anybody hear an echo? Oh, it's gone. All right. How would you like to have your anus on the top of your head?
Sometimes it feels that way.
Okay. The use of electricity in electric eel is so vital. An electric eel that says is so vital to electric eels that the vast majority of their body space is devoted to the electric organs. True or false? So almost their whole body is just devoted to making electricity. True or false?
True.
True? I'm going to put you on the spot there so people can see you. True. Let's say you, Sly Fox. He's definitely thinking. He does not want you to beat him, Alex.
He wants to get everyone else's
This is true.
answer.
You said true. It's true. You're both right.
Yes.
So I'm not. I don't even need to. When you guys are both right, I'm not.
Do I get the quick draw bonus?
Yeah, it's coming. Wait, are we sick of this already?
No. I'm quick, man. But if I'm wrong.
Okay, what allows an electric eel to not electrocute himself? Is it his fat tissue? Is that what keeps them from electrocuting themselves? Did you ever think of that?
They have a rubberous tissue.
Well, no, I said fat. So is that true or false? Is it their fat that keeps them from electrocuting themselves?
Yes.
True or false?
Yes. True.
And of course, they're saying specialized adipose tissue, but we all know that's fat. Jennifer says it's their oily skin. It's their slime. So they're saying false. It's the slime. Okay. So Alex, you picked true. What did Sly Fox say? He says false. You got it right. So now you guys are tied. You guys just tied up. Completely tied. I'm hearing that echo again. All right.
It's so weird.
We got to break this tie and then we're done. All right, let's just do a different topic for the tiebreaker. James Webb Telescope. It's in orbit. It's roughly now, is it 3 million miles away or 1 million?
1 million.
From Earth. Alex says 1 million. 3 million or 1 million miles from Earth. By the way, it's seen 13.5 billion years into the past. It's pretty crazy. So Alex says 1 million. Sly Fox says 3 million. Alex, you won by 1 point.
How is that even possible?
He got you, Sly Fox.
I beat a Sly Fox.
We can get you in for a rematch. Alex
Yeah,
beat you by
I got
one.
lucky. Sometimes I do get lucky.
Yeah, he beat you by 1 donut. Oh, I'm so glad that's over.
What are we doing next?
5-minute witness. And what's really nice, this 5-minute witness is only 1 minute. Do we want to I know Kristen didn't want to play trivia, I don't think anyhow. Maybe she did. But should we get her on now?
Yeah, we should. We got a couple more things. And I promise you there's no trivia.
There's nothing. We're not putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we want your take on this witness story.
Yes. So there you are.
Hi.
How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. We're just having fun. Stupid fun.
Good fun.
So we have this new thing called 5-minute witness. This particular witness, Kristen, only took 1 minute to tell the story. So we can't win. I'm not sure this 5-minute witness thing's working out too well. The last guy was what, 8 minutes?
Yeah.
I think we should just blame Alex. It's all his fault.
I mean, it probably is, to be
for not
quite
coaching
honest.
these people. Jesus. If a guy tells me a 1 minute story, I'm going to back the truck up and go, give us a few more details. But anyhow, let's go ahead and play it, and we'll get your thoughts on this.
All right.
All right.
It's time for 5-Minute Witness. Short stories of strange encounters with the unknown.
Grand Tetons and we were at Jenny Lake, and we decided to hike around Jenny Lake. It's about a 6 or 7 mile hike, if I remember correctly. The first half is wooded, and the second half wasn't. So as we were going through the hike, right where we come out of the woods, something threw a rock and hit a log about 2 feet to my right. It was pretty loud. Bam! And I instantly turned around and yelled at my 2 boys to knock it off. And they said, "Dad, it wasn't us." And about that time, my wife said, "Let's get out of here," and took off running. And the boys followed her, leaving me standing there kind of stunned, almost like in a shock. I was like, what just happened? My mind, I guess, was trying to figure out what just happened. And I remember looking around and couldn't see anybody, couldn't see nothing. So I caught up to them and I asked my wife, "Why did you run?" She said, "I saw something that looked like the color of a coyote." And I questioned her a little bit. I asked her the size. She said, "Well, it was small." And that was it. I mean, to this day, she or I or any of us know what threw that rock at us. In hindsight, I wish I would have picked it up, but I didn't.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
even 1 minute. We didn't even hear the first part of it.
We didn't hear the first part?
No, we kept saying Alex, and there's no audio.
No, I replayed it. That was it. It was only a minute.
Well, we didn't hear the first part. Anyhow, that was a short, really short. But it wasn't a Bigfoot sighting, was it?
Well,
So what do you think about that? When somebody just has a rock thrown at them, I mean, it's pretty interesting.
yeah. If a rock was thrown, like actually thrown, something had to throw it.
Yeah, that's true. Bears don't throw rocks. And apparently his wife, I really didn't hear it. Is there a way just to play that first part, Alex?
Yeah. I
I
think
really got messed up.
here, let's do this again.
We're going to get this right eventually.
In June of 2018,
Now it's
my
echoing.
wife and my 2 sons were at the Grand Tetons,
There we go.
and we were at Jenny Lake, and we decided to hike around Jenny Lake. It's about a 6 or 7 mile hike, if I remember correctly. The first half is wooded, and the second half wasn't. So as we were going through the hike, right where we come out of the woods, something threw a rock and hit a log about 2 feet to my right. It was pretty loud. Bam! And I instantly turned around and yelled at my 2 boys to knock it off. And they said, "Dad, it wasn't us." And about that time, my wife said, "Let's get out of here," and took off running. And the boys followed her, leaving me standing there kind of stunned, almost like in a shock. I was like, what just happened? My mind, I guess, was trying to figure out what just happened. And I remember looking around and couldn't see anybody, couldn't see nothing. So I caught up to them and I asked my wife, "Why did you run?" She said, "I saw something that looked like the color of a coyote." And I questioned her a little bit. I asked her the size. She said, "Well, it was small." And that was it. I mean, to this day, she or I or any of us know what threw that rock at us. In hindsight, I wish I would have picked it up.
It made more
but I
sense now.
didn't.
I got it.
In June of 2008.
That was it.
Yeah. Thank you, Ed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you, Ed.
So, the color's interesting. The fact it was small. Do you think a juvenile could do that, Kristen,
Possibly.
and throw a rock?
Possibly. Or even a larger one, stand up really quick, throw a rock, and then hunker back down.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
I never even thought of that. Yeah, I never think of these things doing the hide and seek game. I don't know why. It never occurs to me. Why would that not occur to me?
Well, they
I
said
guess
it
because
was
I've never
small,
done
so-
it. I don't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I find that interesting. They're almost playful that way. Have you ever seen one hunker down?
I've never seen one hunkered down. Now, I've caught some thermal to where it looks like possibly one was bent over or down. However, I can't say, hey, that was a Bigfoot. I don't know. And then, of course, the thermal signature will disappear. But
Interesting. All right, Alex, let's do word of the day quick.
Okay.
Every week, we're going to do a new word, and this word you can use.
And the word of the
Does anybody want to take a guess? Well, there he goes. Yeah. Okay, first off, you were talking when you started playing your bumper, right in the middle of your sentence. Are you having a bad day, Alex?
Well, now I am.
Or just okay. Then he gives away what it is. All right, go ahead and put it up. So these are things that happen all the time on the bike paths, the roads, where you get a little seed that grows, right? And it just plows through the tar, but there's no name for them. So I named them the tarzit.
aha, I like that.
It's the tarzits.
It's the tarzits.
Yeah. So if you're not a bike rider, you probably don't notice them as much, but they're really bad. And this one's like, I mean, they get to be 6, 7, 8 inches tall.
Wow.
And they just break, how that little seed just turns into a plant and plows through concrete or tar. But yeah, I call them tarzits. Okay, enough of that crap. And then we're going to do, got a little news section we're going to do. And you can be an expert in this. And we just call it, you be the judge. We're going to play 3 different clips of footage that's weird. And it's either fake, real, or it could be just misidentified, right? So let's go ahead. I'm ready for you to play that bumper. Good.
Untold Radio AM presents You Be the Judge. Is this strange video clip real, or is it fake? Or could it just be a simple misidentification? What do you think?
Okay, so let's go ahead and play video C.
What in the heck is this up in the sky, man? Look at this little dude like in a spacesuit, it looks like.
Is it a cross? Heck no, it's not a cross. What is that?
You can kill the sound, Alex.
Like a...
So what do you think? Mylar balloons, possibly?
I think it's a ghost.
It's a ghost. Only you would think that's a ghost.
So it reminds me of something, those guys in white out of Star Wars or something.
Yeah. It is kind of they're all the kids are going to spaceman because it kind of looks like a space.
It does kind of look like one.
Yeah, it does. I don't know what Mylar balloon would be shaped in that shape, but I guess they have like numbers you can buy for birthdays.
Yeah. The haze around the object is what's so odd.
Yeah, that is a little odd. And it's quite bright. It's kind of changing colors. The only thing I've seen similar to that was me and Yvette were driving from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and in a farmer's farm field, there was this brilliant object in it in the middle of the daytime. And it was so bright, you could hardly look at it. And it looked kind of like that, like really reflective. So who knows? But please, you guys, give us your opinion. Leave it in the comments what you think it is. And then video D. Sound is good on this one, Alex. Let's go ahead and listen. This is, if you can blow it up to it.
We don't know what this is, but it is very, very large. He's cutting
So
away.
to keep playing.
There he goes, cutting a wake on the Missouri River going upstream. This is huge.
You getting it on the yeah. Wow, dude.
Follow him. What is this? Oh, it's head.
Weird.
That is kind of a weird one. I mean, that we only get a look at it in the beginning. And it looks kind of weird. It looks like kind of a big turtle. And I don't know about you, Christian, and you, Alex. I go by their audio. It's really hard to act, right? We're not actors. So if there's audio in there and they're talking, generally you can tell if it's real or fake. The audio's real. Now, here's one way this happens. They then figure out what it is later on, but you don't get to see the part where they figured it out, right? Mm-hmm. Or solved it. Therefore, it's very, very convincing that it's real. Because it does end kind of abruptly. They're in a boat. I mean, there's no ending to it.
That's strange. But so at the beginning, it reminds me of a manatee.
Yeah. Please play that beginning one more time. Just the beginning, Alex. Yeah, it almost looks like whiskers. I never thought about the manatee. Yeah, it does look like it's maybe in Florida. It's just a manatee. Possibly. So it's real, but it's not strange. So I'd vote manatee. What say you, Alex?
Manatee.
Yeah. Okay. I think manatee too.
I think we solved it.
So it's a mystery made of nothing, and that's there's a lot of that going around though. Okay, next video. This video is just plain creepy. It's either real or fake. Most likely it's fake, but I'm not even sure how they did it. Go ahead and play it. It's very creepy though. You don't really need to hear what they're saying. It's from some TV show.
They are really bizarre. They appear to be about 2 feet tall, crouched over like demonic.
They're on 2 legs, little creepy looking dudes.
Oh, they're like little gnomes.
Hey, I'll be with CM this weekend.
Oh, fun.
Lyle Blackburn. Oh. Anyhow, what do you think? It's definitely creepy. Everybody agrees it's creepy, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they concluded.
It looks like it's walking 2 little people like.
Oh yeah,
creatures.
It shoots a gun. It shoots a gun too. Did you see the gun going off?
How is that with that?
Who's gonna think of this? Play it again, Alex, with the gun part. Is that
the end?
It's towards the end. Yeah, it's towards the end. So watch.
Oh.
Is that this bolt thing?
Yeah. So who's gonna think of that? I don't know.
I don't know.
So what do you guys vote? Real or fake? It's either one or the other. Faker than a $3 bill.
From a security. I mean, it looks real from a home security camera, but
what
they can take now is unbelievable.
Cayuse says fake. Sly Fox says faker than a $3 bill.
I don't even know if my dad is real anymore.
No. Is your trigger finger real?
Yeah.
Anyhow, okay. So fake, Alex?
Real.
Alex going real.
I'm going real. That's
okay.
Weird.
It is weird.
Who could make that up? That's so weird.
That's kind of the one thing going for it. It's like it's really like if you're gonna fake something, you're gonna add the gun going off.
Yeah, right. Like that. when you're in Adobe Premiere, you're gonna go, oh yeah, we need to add that gun going off.
We do live in a weird world, right? You have to have an open mind. Okay, so we're out of that. So that's the new "You Be the Judge" thing, and I was surprised everybody voted real on that one.
Real.
Everybody but me.
What about Buttworm?
Buttworm's not here. I think Buttworm changed his name.
Yeah.
Do you remember Buttworm? We had Buttworm on for months. He was always in our chat, and he just disappeared.
Huh. I hope he's
Okay.
okay.
Let's do clips, and then we'll get on to just talking about Bigfoot.
All right.
All right. Are you ready for the bumper?
Sure, go ahead. Okay. Clip one sounds good. We're about to be hit by a very large solar flare. Listen.
We just had the second largest solar flare from the sun than we've had since 2017. Yeah, right here. Okay. And it's still ongoing. Now, this thing clocked in at X 7.15 and still tapering down. Now, this did have a coronal mass ejection, or CME, attached to it. And it's too early to tell if it had an earthbound component of that could lead to a geomagnetic storm with the northern lights that we see and stuff like that. But I'm kind of hoping we do get one. But yeah, I was speaking to Dr. Ryan French earlier, and he said, yeah, this is the second largest solar event or solar flare since 2017. And he'll probably have a movie together later on this evening.
All right, that's enough.
The whole event.
We got the idea.
Enough of that crap.
That wasn't enough. Hey, you're getting pretty good there, Junior. Clip two. Sound is good. This is a party joke you can try. You can just go ahead and try this, Alex. You can try it right now if you want.
Put your hand on the wall. Put your hand down. Grab your elbow. Put your hand on the wall.
No way! No way!
That's it?
No.
Okay,
Put your hand on the wall. Hand down. Grab your elbow. Put your hand on the wall.
No way! No way!
All right. Clip three. Sound is good. Just sneaking in a really quick dad joke here. Go ahead.
I just spent $100 on a belt that doesn't fit. Huge waste.
Ooh, that was bad, wasn't it? Clip four. So I have to sneak these in, or Alex won't let me put them in. Clip four, sound is good. And this is about the blue blobs everybody was seeing on the hurricane radar. Go ahead.
This guy's excited to
An
tell it.
interesting phenomenon came ashore as Hurricane Helene did. A lot of birds trapped in the eye of the hurricane. And you could see it on Doppler radar. Birds being trapped in the eye of a hurricane actually aren't necessarily that uncommon when it's a major hurricane. First off, a lot of coastal birds will take to the air to try and get away from some of the stronger winds that are within a hurricane eye wall. With a major hurricane, that eye closes up. So while they're trying to get to the center, which is a calmer portion, of course, of that storm, that eye will close up, and those birds are now trapped inside. The thing is, this happens a lot more when you're at that peak of migration.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Now, we are seeing a...
He is just happy.
But what's interesting is then there was a bunch of other people posting clips of blue balls falling.
Oh no!
Like gelatinous balls that fell.
From the hurricane that just went through.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And of course, he was eager to debunk that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Birds. Everything's bird. Sounds like Heineck. Everything was birds with him too. The UFO landing in your back. It was birds. It's just birds.
It's like Ozzy Osbourne and his ball lightning.
Yeah. Clip.
Everything's ball lightning.
Okay. Clip 5. This is hilarious. Apparently, best bait is buns. Can you make out what's going on here? How in the hell do you get in that situation? Alex, that's something that would happen to you if I took you fishing.
The biggest fish of the day.
I don't get it. I'm like, I don't even want to know.
It looks like he's wearing dress shoes too. I don't understand what's going on.
Totally confused. Okay. Clip 6. You ever heard of tree dominoes? Watch this. Might want to start it at the beginning, Alex.
Oh my God, they all falling.
There you go. Tree dominoes.
They all fallen.
Nice and peaceful and away from the home. Perfect.
She figured it out.
Yeah.
Falling. Yeah, that's
Okay,
that's
so
close to me down in my neck of the woods.
clip 7 is completely no sound. Please, no sound. It is the birdageddon, like Armageddon. Go ahead.
Those are all birds.
Birdageddon.
Whoa.
Just wait. If I saw this, I would run.
Is this how to Hitchcock's The Birds movie?
Yeah. A lot of people. Have you ever seen that, Kristen?
Yeah, it's an older movie.
Yeah, old movie.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be freaked out. And there's some pretty big birds. I don't know if they're ducks or geese or some other kind of bird, man. That is one giant flock.
Have you seen him ever do this in real life?
No. Not like that. Imagine the poop dropping. Ooh. And speaking of poop, clip 8, sound is good.
My segue.
So we're talking about poop. Did you know your beach is completely made of poop? Your favorite beach. Even white sand. Listen. Sounds good.
That right there is a blue parrotfish. Caught it here, my buddy Dave.
If you're the type of person that enjoys the beach, I'm going to change that for you. Meet the parrotfish. It's basically a 100-pound armored fish that's only found in tropical regions. I'm jealous. Now, the first thing you'll notice about them is the fact that they have a beak, like a bird beak, hence the name parrotfish. And they use that beak to eat rocks and coral reef. And this is where things get weird. When they eat the coral reef, it can't all be digested. So the rest just gets pooped out. But the thing is, the parrotfish poops out sand. That's sand. They poop sand, and a lot of sand too, like a lot. One parrotfish can expel 1,000 pounds of sand a year. In fact, 70% of all white sand beaches in the Caribbean and in Hawaii are made by parrotfish.
There you go.
Keep that in your mind the next time you say, I want the sand between my toes. Moral of the story?
Okay, Alex, that's enough of that.
Okay, but can I get this outfit for my birthday?
Sure. Sounds good. Is that because you can't make your mind up?
Yeah.
You could drive an El Camino too.
But you got to get the necklace with it.
Yeah, the necklace.
Okay, clip 9. Sound is good. Volume up. Everybody loves a great, good shadow person story. This one is one of the best I've ever heard. Clip 9.
What is the creepiest thing your kid has ever said to you?
Well, I was in bed with my 3-year-old reading her a bedtime book, and she said, here are those black people. I'm like, what black people? She's like, the black people with the red eyes right there. And she points, and I look, and I say, there's nobody there. And she says, you can't see them? I'm like, no. And she's like, they're right there. I'm like, what are they doing? She's like, there's a line of them. They're just walking by and disappearing into the wall. They come every night. You really can't see them? I mean, she's 3.5. She was flabbergasted that I couldn't see them. I immediately ripped that child up, put her in my bed, and then I slept with the full light, not a night light, a full light for over 4 years. I mean, and she continued to see them until she was about 5 or 6, and she still remembers seeing them to this day.
True story.
I think I'd put the kid up for adoption.
Yeah. God. I think Alex used
Tell
to
the
see
kid.
shadow people like that, didn't you, Alex?
Wow.
Well,
No.
I suppress that with donuts.
That would be creepy though, to have your kid tell you that. My youngest daughter used to tell me about some little kind of green gray man that would visit her, and it was creepy. I'd sit there and try to get information, and she'd just tell me this story. I don't know. Kids see strange things. Okay. Clip 10. Sound is good. And this will show you how severe flash floods are.
Jeez.
Isn't that intense? Okay, that's enough.
That's brutal.
But that's, yeah. So everybody, when you hear flash flood warnings, take note, you know.
Scary.
A lot of people have lost their lives in flash floods in this last week. So, all right, bonus clip. There's no sound. Alex, this is finally a car you could trade for your Toyota. The world's smallest car.
Look at the gas mileage on that little guy.
Yeah.
Does
Would
it
you
take
trade
1
your
gallon?
Toyota for this?
Yeah.
You would?
My daily driver.
I actually found one for sale on Facebook. Serious.
I don't know how it does in the snow.
Just trade you even up for that Toyota. Anyhow, that's it. That's all I got. Okay, Bigfoot.
Yes, Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
So why don't you just really quickly just, introduce yourself, Kristen, because we had you on. This is going to be part 2 when we had you on last time. But I mean, how often do you do? Well, let's start this then. How often do you do research?
Well, in the winter months, about once a month, once every couple of months, sometimes twice a month. It just depends on how often the group can get together. In the summer months, we only go out maybe 2 or 3 times max because it's just so hot. And you can't see the bugs. The bugs are bad. So
Do you ever feel skeptical ever? Like, do you ever have days where you go, God, they just cannot be real?
Oh,
You
all
ever
the
have days
time.
like, oh, you do?
Yes. I mean, I still question myself. What did I see? What have I seen? I still have that mindset of, did I really see this? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But then I'm like, I know what I saw. But yes, I still question myself. And every time we go out and research, I question everything. What did I just see? What was that? So it's just part of research.
What do you think that is, though, that we talk, even though I've seen 3 of them, never the face, but from the side or the back, I still cannot believe that they're real. As much as I spend on this mystery, there's just days that I'm completely skeptical. They just can't be real. And then I'm like, what are you talking about? You've seen them. And then I think back, to my memories of what I saw. But I mean, do you really feel like this is do you wrestle with it often, or is it just once a year, or how often?
You're talking about like me thinking this can't be real.
Yeah. How often do you wrestle with that?
When I really sit down and think about it, when I really get into a deep mindset of what is this? What did I see? What is this creature? I then start thinking logically. I'm like, okay, how can this exist? How is this not in a zoo? And how does science not recognize this? And I was like, but then again, I'm like, no, it does exist. I saw it with my own eyes. I got footprints. So I think about that. I'll say it comes up at least 2 or 3 times a year when I really get into a deep thought. It's like going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, I agree. By the way, audience, I really want you guys, I'm going to really lean on you guys to ask her what you're curious about. Jennifer made a comment. I don't even think there should be a debate about whether they exist anymore. And I kind of agree with that too. We have enough evidence. We really should just be trying to figure out what they are. I don't know if you agree with that, but I get it. But let's can you put your questions in caps, and then Alex,
yes,
you can
please
post them. Oh, Nixon asks what state she's in. Georgia. Georgia. What part of Georgia?
Northeast Georgia.
Okay.
The closest larger town is Athens.
And you weren't affected by the hurricane at all?
We had rain, wind, power outages, houses on trees, but nothing severe, no flash floods, no lives lost in this area, thank goodness.
Okay. So Kevin wanted you to tell your sighting.
Already?
So go ahead and tell us.
Sure. I'll I know whenever this last time, I don't want to bore you guys, so I'll kind of pack it in a little bit more. Yeah, I'll make it a little condensed.
Yeah.
So at the age of 16 years old, I lived with my parents on their property, 30 acres in Northeast Georgia, Elbert County to be exact. Break from band practice. The band member's wife and I decided to look at some eagle nests on the very back end of my parents' property, which was, if you go out on the point far left, you are bordered by a creek on the left and a beaver pond swamp that went across several people's property. So it was summer, beautiful, getting in the evening. We had made our way with ATV, stopped at the top of the hill, taken a little pig path down to the corner. And we were looking at eagle's nest, enjoying our time. It was beautiful. Birds were chirping. Normal day. I mean, in no way, shape, or form were we thinking anything like Bigfoot. Nothing weird. We weren't drinking. We weren't smoking. Everyone asked that question. But we were looking at the nest, and all of a sudden something come crashing through the woods, thick woods too, very thick woods. Down the side of the ridge, trees moving, smaller trees moving as it come through. It's got between us and the four-wheeler. Stopped, standing there looking at us, and all you could see was this massive creature, human shape, blocking out sunlight. You could just see a mass in the woods. The width on it was unbelievable. The height, I don't know, 7-ish, half-ish foot tall. She starts screaming, "We're going to die. We're going to die." You know, because we don't know what this is. I'm thinking I might die today. And it just stands there. The woods go dead silent. You could have heard a pin drop. It's eerily quiet. Whole atmosphere, everything changes. And like I said, I've always said it felt like this happened over several minutes, but it was probably more of a 30-second encounter. But it stands there looking at us still, this massive creature. And it turns and walks off and continuing in the same direction it come from. And as it walks off, it's no longer pushing trees, but just nonchalantly walks on 2 feet. And as it crosses in between us, the four-wheeler, and that little pig path we had to come down, I clearly see an outstretched arm, hand, as it's walking, come out. And that is what I focus on. This was not a human. This was not a hunter in a ghillie suit. This was not a bear on 2 legs. Yeah, I've racked my brains. But this was, the only thing I can come up with that makes sense now is a Bigfoot. Did I see a face? No. I wish I would have, because that's what I'm after now. I want to see a face of a Bigfoot. But I mean, it walked off. And after it got out of our earshot. We didn't hear it. We took off running, hopped on the 4-wheeler, headed back to the studio. And, that's the day I become a believer. I always thought Bigfoot may exist, and why not? We're living a huge earth, but I always thought they were Pacific Northwest. I was 16 years old. Never did I think they were in Elbert County, Georgia, but that day it changed my life forever.
Do you think not seeing the face, obviously that bugs you, it bugs me too.
Yes.
They just don't seem as real when you haven't seen the face.
I know.
And by the way, Kate Curtis asked a very intelligent question. Why couldn't it be a bear standing? Did you see the broad shoulders on this thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
I saw the massive width. I mean, you could see, like I said, you could not see detail because of the thick woods, but you could see the width of the square shoulders, the width of it standing in the woods like this hulking figure. But unfortunately, I couldn't see detail.
Yeah,
But
bears have no shoulders at all. I mean, they're sloped and very narrow, and so just so many people think that's kind of that's the explanation for all of the sightings. There must be bear. So,
and the question that popped up, it was not pushing trees over like they were falling onto the ground, but it was like imagining a wooded forest and something just parting the woods as it come through. Like that's what I can imagine it was doing, was it was just pushing over the smaller trees as it come through quick.
I've never thought of that. So it's just pushing them aside.
To the side to make way, because it was coming at us quick. But then it walked off, just took its time walking off, but it come at us like we were going to die, as Susie said.
Well, that serves two purposes. One's very intimidating.
Yes.
And two, they're going to be able to get to you quicker.
It made its way very quick to us. Yes.
Gosh. Interesting. Robert Hoffman asked, did you have any sensation of infrasound? Did you lock up? Did you, have any extra fear that seemed not normal?
The fear I experienced, I would feel is totally normal. I did not know what to do. I was more or less frozen because not only out of fear, but I didn't know what this was. Like I've seen bear. I mean, that's nothing to see a bear on my parents' property. I've seen bear, but my thing was, what is this? What am I looking at? This doesn't make sense. You run through a quick little list in your head of bear, bobcat, mountain lion, hunter. Nope. So what is this? So I was frozen in fear and confusion. And also I had nowhere to go. I could go toward this creature or I could get in the water. I was stuck.
Really interesting. I'm just looking. Okay, so yeah. How far away was it? And when it was, how far away at the closest?
Going back, I wish I would send you guys the pictures because I stood and then I had my mom stand about the area it was at. And I'm not good with distance. I'm really not. I'm guessing about 50 yards. It was close. Close enough.
150 feet. Yep.
150 feet, 200 feet, somewhere right in there, because it was also, we were on a low flat area and it was on side of a ridge. So it was like at an angle to us. It was close.
And then Daniel asked, what time of day did all this take place?
It was in the evening. It was close to dusk, but we still had plenty of light. So good visibility.
Yeah. That's when my last sighting was too. It was kind of maybe 20 minutes before the sunset. Mm-hmm. Plenty of light, but still made sense why they were out and about, kind of getting ready to go into their night mode. Caillou says, did anyone look for footprints? And that's usually the last thing people do.
We did not go back in the woods for a long time. Now, have I found footprints since? Yes, I have casted some footprints close to that area. Matter of fact, BFRO actually come out 4 or 5 years later, somewhere right in there. I did actually do a BFRO sighting because I wanted to get the word out. And I wanted to know more, but they actually did come down. I also had some friends my new friends now, that they did some investigation. They found some impressions that they think were footprints, but there's just due to the leaf litter and the wood floor, it's very hard to get a definite print.
Here we go. Mary Jo wants to know, did it make any sound?
No.
Anything?
No. It was dead silence. After it crashed through the woods, when it was staying there looking at us, dead silence.
So no growling, screams. But you did hear those trees.
I did hear those trees.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Kevin, he says, Kristen, did hominid make any sound? Oh, okay. Yes, same question.
Yeah. Now we have had some roars, I would guess you would call it, growls on the property, but it wasn't at the time of my sighting. But those roars and growls, they did not sound dog. They did not sound cat-like. We cannot identify them.
And I think she had mentioned maybe about 7.5 foot tall. Caillou was asking how tall would you guess? 7.5 foot?
Somewhere right in there.
Yeah. 8 foot.
Very large. Just the mass, just the width of it. Not only the height, but the width of it was massive.
Yeah. How wide do you think it was compared to, like your wingspan is usually your height. So however tall you are when you stretch your arms out is actually the exact height that you are. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Alex?
Short.
Tip to tip, fingertip, that's the exact height. So how wide compared to your height?
Gosh, I mean, I compare it to visually looking at a football player, like an NFL linebacker with all of their gear and shoulder pads on, just compared to me looking at it. So what would that be? It's hard to say. 3.5, 4 feet. Probably 3.5, 4 feet wide.
Robert Hoffman is a really good question. Does the person you were with break contact with you because of the sighting, meaning you guys don't talk anymore?
Nope.
Or are you still friends and still communicate? And have you discussed this sighting with them recently?
Yes. Every time I see her, she's like, "You ready to go in the woods?" as the joke. Because no, she will never go back in the woods again. So yeah, we still speak of it.
But she's not going in the woods. No way.
Not.
Okay. There you go, Robert. There you go. It's a good question. Super good questions. Yeah. I can only imagine the effect that would have on some people not ever wanting to go in the woods. Why do you think you've done the opposite, though? You want to go in the woods more.
Yes, because I want to see its face. Me seeing I'm not going to say outline, but just the width of it, the height of it, but no detail other than the hand and arm that I focused on so much. I want to see detail. I want to know more, but that's my nature too. If I don't understand something or if I don't know something, I want to go find out.
Yeah.
So that's also just my nature.
John Ayers, he's asking how long ago was the sighting?
I was 16 and I'm 38 now, so
okay. He said you look 22.
Oh, thank you. My new best friend.
Way to go, John.
John, you never told me I look 22.
Yeah.
What else? I'm looking. Do you feel that we're closer though since you started doing research? Has there been any progress Or do you think it's just stagnant?
I think there's progress.
You do?
I think there's
Why?
progress all the time, but I also do not believe that it's public knowledge. And I think people are ridiculed so much. It's often kept amongst themselves or amongst their groups, and it's not shared into the scientific community. Because every time something major comes out, you get ridiculed, you get shot down, you're called a fake, you're called a fraud. And now with the way things are, it's easier to fake stuff with CGI. And sometimes it's like you don't know what to believe. I do believe there are scientific discoveries all the time. It's just we don't hear about them.
How confident are you 100 years from now that this will be common fact? Like, like kids are taught about like gravity in school, like there'll be no ridicule. It'll just be, they're out there.
I don't know. I still think there's still going to be ridicule 100 years from now. If you come out, or if the government, the scientific community comes out and says, hey, Bigfoot is real, and a lot of stuff is going to change with the forest, the protected lands, the way families, DNR, there's going to be so many changes. And then, of course, you go to the religion aspect of it. It's just going to upset so many areas. So I still think it's still going to be kind of pushed to the side as long as possible until someone produces a body and it's like, here it is. There's no getting away with hiding it or someone taking the body, which I do believe happens at times. So somebody's just going to have to put it out there on public display. No ifs, ands, or buts about it before they say it's real.
All right, we got some good questions. Remember, guys, this is your night. You guys can ask away. Give me the night off. You guys come up with the questions. It's perfect. Okay, so here we go. Since researching, this is from Caillou, Tristan. Since researching, what has been the most memorable thing you've experienced or found?
Yeah, in all honesty, it's not Bigfoot. While researching, I had an experience with some orbs in the woods, massive orbs, lights. And I was going after a Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them. That was my goal, is to find one. And then when you're surprised with something totally out of this world, extraordinary, you're not even looking for, is right in your face, that makes a profound impact on you. So I saw some orbs, and also I've seen possibly I know this is crazy, but possibly a portal in the wood.
Possibly a portal.
Just a portal. You should have this.
Yeah. I saw
one
something.
One day I saw a portal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd open with that.
Sir?
Okay.
I'd open with that.
So how big were the orbs and what color were they? Because I just came back from Snowgrove up in northern Ontario, which is a jillion miles from anywhere. And I think everybody saw at least 2 bright red orbs. I didn't see any. Every time I had my back turned, it's like, oh. They were like, you don't want to know. And I'm like, what? He goes, an orb just cruised behind you. And I'm like, oh my God. And these, we have this rule. Nobody jokes around up there. Literally, there are no joking. Mm-hmm. So they really all saw like 2 red orbs. What color were yours?
I would say mine were like an orangey amber colored.
Orangey amber, almost pink.
Orangey amber. Yeah, orangey, more on
was
the orange
a little pink?
side. No, I wouldn't say a little pink. It was more on the orange side.
Okay.
And a bit larger than a basketball, maybe beach ball size.
Beach ball, okay.
Yep. It was large.
What were they doing? Get into some details. Orbs are super interesting.
Yeah, sure. We were actually on our way to one of our spots that we like to go to, and we had a guy that was kind of hanging back with the thermal scanning the woods. as we walked single file, and he called over the radio because he was not within eyesight and said, hey, I've got some lights following me. You might want to come back here. And this guy doesn't get freaked out. So when he said, hey, come back, we're like, So we get to this little area and he's looking, and we turn around and look in the woods, and there's this huge ball of light. It's transparent. There is nothing emitting the light. I mean, you can somewhat see through this light, and this light is just sitting there. This light then morphs, like more light balls come off of it. And then they start circling around the center light. And then,
whoa.
Yes. And this is why I'm saying I was looking for Bigfoot, but this really was
Okay. So you lost me at you saw the orb, and you said there were smaller lights going around.
It was almost like this one light had 4 more balls of light kind of come off of it. And it started circling around the center, larger ball of light. And then it kind of just stops and then starts coming towards us. And about that time, Bob, he's passed away, but Bob is like he was the tech guy. And he had on this huge, huge headlamp. And he said, I'm not out here looking for this. I'm looking for monsters. And flips his headlamp on, and they disappear. But now in the meantime, as they're circling, I'm like, okay, I've got to get this on camera. Like, I want to document this. I'm seeing this with my eyes. But so I had an old school camera. I had a phone, and I had my thermal. So it did not show up on thermal. The orbs did not show up. My phone died. And I'm trying to think if my camera died or if it just shut off. But in no way, shape, or form could I get any of this on video or photo. But it is forever etched in my memory.
Okay. And is that what you meant by the portal when those lights were kind of going around it?
No. This wasn't what we call the portal. No. But another weird thing was when we were watching these lights, and as they started coming towards us, we have K2 meters, and it was like pegging off the charts, like into the red.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those are like EMF type meters. I don't know what did you call it? A K2?
Yeah, a K2, but basically
I have no
EMF,
idea.
Yeah, EMF, but it was pegging off the chart, like it was in the red. That was odd.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, okay, Travis, let me get back to some of these. I think most of them are about orbs and stuff and what you've seen. Where and when was the portal experience? I've heard one. Oh, it just clicked away. Hold on here. It says I've heard one opening up at night before. It said some frequency band came out slowly towards me. What, Travis, go ahead and tell us in chat what sound you heard. You said you heard it opening. So what did you see and hear again?
Are you talking to me? The portal?
Yeah. Sorry, Kristen.
It's okay. At first, what really kind of started off the night odd was a huge flash of light in the woods. It was like an old camera photo flash bulb went off in the woods. Okay, that's odd. But then we were sitting in a 4-team unit, and we had multiple other teams dispersed out throughout our research area so we could all watch left, right, front, center, everywhere. The guy behind me that was watching behind me says, hey, I hear him and his partner talking. He said, hey, it's like, grab your thermal and see if you're seeing what I'm seeing. He said, I don't know what's going on. He said, just take a look at this. So I got up, and of course I've got it's a flare. I'm looking around. I'm like, what am I looking for? And so I look through his, and I see what he's seeing through his. It is an outline of a heat signature of a box. And it's almost kind of like it's off of the ground a little bit, and there's heat. It had his, I think, set on white hot. Mine was set on white hot, but you could see the heat from up under this box. And then beside this box it looked like a cross with another smaller bar at the bottom. And of course, I'm looking through his, so I'm grabbing mine. I'm trying to zoom and find out where, because trying to pinpoint the area. It's quite a large area. And as I'm recording, I hit the record button, it's fading away. So I do have video of this, but it's very faint. It's getting faint.
Interesting. So you filmed it and it just started disappearing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it did. And so we actually got a few team members, guided them to where this box was. We had pretty much dissipated at this point. By the time these 3 team members, we walked them into the area. The area was, I would call it we call it the meadow. It was a meadow, and yes, there are trees surrounding the meadow, but it's a very sparse tree line. It's very sparse woods. And as these guys get to where this box was the thermal signature, they walk in, and as they walk in, they disappear. They go off thermal. My mind.
You're talking about people went off.
Yes. The people, the heat signature gradually, it disappeared until you could not see them. The heat signature was gone.
Okay.
And you can actually hear David saying, did they just disappear? In my mind, I'm like, no, people, they don't disappear. Things don't disappear. And I'm like, they walked into the woods. Ugh. That's what I was thinking.
So, okay. So the orbs didn't have any heat signature. Todd, my friend Todd asked that. But did you guys test the portal for a heat signature, or was that just video?
It was with my thermal.
Oh, it was
also
thermal.
David's thermal. Yes, it was heat. It was not visible to the naked eye.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was not visible.
So this portal supposedly was only heat.
Heat.
Very interesting.
Yes. And
have you heard stuff like that, Dad? Sorry, Dad.
Not really. No, this is the first.
It's pretty unique.
On thermal. I mean, how often? Oh, I saw a portal and just happened to have a thermal camera with me.
Right.
That's not going to be a very, it's not going to happen very often. So, that was a really good question. And the fact you saw your friends disappear, when did they reappear at some point?
They did. Matter of fact, they got deeper, as I found out now, they got deeper into this box, or where the box was, is when they completely and fully disappeared. Now, the 2 guys that got the deepest into it since passed. One developed cancer, and the other one passed for freak reasons.
You're talking both of them are gone?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. And the third one is still here.
That gives me pause.
Yeah, but they are actually the ones that got the deepest into the portal. And they said when they got there, the atmosphere changed. It was like someone draped a black curtain over them. I can't remember if it was Bob or Tim said that even like the temperature changed. They realized something was not right. And they did an about face and started back out. And as they went in, they walked in normally, but as they were walking out, they were tripping over like the little briars and the little short brush. And that was not there on that same path when they walked in. It's hard to believe. It makes no sense, but I was there. I witnessed it. I do have a video, but once they walked out, you can see their figures like reforming, and there they go.
Well, I could certainly see orbs pegging a meter, an EMF meter, because there was a time me and Yvette were outside down by the lake with I think the fire was starting to go out, but an orb came over. All of the swing sets started moving. no wind.
Wow.
I mean, the lake was like
Swing
glass.
sets movie. Ooh.
Oh yeah, right out of a movie. Their swing sets all start going. Then we hear the docks, all of the aluminum docks on the lake, including mine, started bouncing and crunching. You could hear the metal flexing and like bending and crunching. Well, that's right before the car alarms went off all over the neighborhood. All the car alarms went off. And what else happened? God, I swear something else happened. Oh, dogs started barking.
Huh.
So the dogs, alarms, all this happened, and the docks bouncing. And as soon as the orb passed, everything quit. Went back to normal. But to see those swing sets, not only my neighbors on both sides, but also across the little bay, we could see that one going too. And they were all just like squeaking right out of a bad movie. Anyhow, so yes. And then I experienced orbs in the daytime one time on the lake. We both saw it, and we did film them. Wrecked my iPhone, completely wrecked it. I mean, turned it into a brick. She got footage, but she didn't turn her phone on until they had already kind of moved off towards the roof. But it was a whole, like, hundreds of them.
Oh my
Like
God.
literally hundreds. They were swooping around my roof. They were swooped around the yard, the grass, everywhere. And I thought I had the best footage ever. I mean, because I was 50 feet away, broad daylight, filming these things. And they were like sparkling and silver and black. And there'd be like multiples coming out of one, going into one. But then it burned all of our low voltage out in the house, all of it. The ports, the HDMI ports, all burned out in all the TVs.
What in the world?
The vacuums burned out, the thermostats burned out, all this low voltage stuff in my movie theater burned out my electric pontoon stuff, wrecked my brand new iPhone. And I was about 10 grand out because of orbs.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. So what am I going to do? Call State Farm and go, I have an insurance claim?
I think you would make that commercial that is always shown on TV where you just wouldn't believe it happened, the odd insurance claims.
Yeah.
Or-
And you go, yep, that happened. And the guy
Mhm.
shows, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cute,
Huh.
pretty clever.
Well, in your opinion, what do you think they are? Because
I have they're definitely energetic, whatever they are.
yeah. And I
They're
feel
definitely
are,
putting out energy. There's energy coming from them.
and I believe like the orbs that I saw, I mean, they knew we were there.
Yeah.
And they were interacting with us and were coming towards us.
Yeah, they're just not random like blobs of plasma floating. No. Because these orbs we saw in the daytime were swirling around the trees and swirling and missing objects and flying together. And they were definitely, now they may only have the intelligence of a bird or an animal. You know what I mean? They may not be like, IQ of 160, but or maybe they have the IQ of a fish or a plankton, or we don't know, but they're definitely alive and they definitely were aware of us. No doubt.
Agreed.
So that's interesting stuff, but the portal thing is still like that's a little freaky.
Yeah. I mean, I went looking for Bigfoot, and this was in 2017. And so it's been a little while, but yet again, another avenue was opened up for me. I mean, I'm looking for Bigfoot, and here is this where my friends disappear right in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
So,
Well, do you think that they have anything to do with each other? Because they may not. The forest alone is think of the energy. All those creatures alive, not only all the animals, all the insects, all of the fungus, all of the trees and the tree roots and the plants and the berries and there's so much life in a forest. People have no idea. Do you think are two separate phenomena, or you just don't know, or do you think they're all one phenomena?
I don't know, because it seems like sometimes when we have possible Bigfoot activity, we will see smaller orbs in the woods. And then, of course, I hear of other people's encounters where they've seen a ball of light or orb, and then they've seen a Bigfoot. But I don't know, because like my Bigfoot encounter, where I know what I saw, there was no orb or flash of light. So I just don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't be going out in the woods, freezing my tail off or burning up in the heat. I don't know. So that's another something I got to find out for myself.
I liked your comment, Travis. He said that some sound frequency he heard described it as a piece of paper sliding across a table.
That's really descriptive.
We all know that's it. Wasn't it orbs that chased you out of the forest the one time you went Bigfoot researching, and you've never done it again because it freaked you out? Right, Alex?
The orb thing?
Yeah, wasn't it orbs that you guys saw? Or was
it was like
trees
some
getting
lights, some lights in the trees.
just some lights in the woods? It's not orbs. See, that's Alex.
Randomly.
It's just some lights. Random lights. It's not orbs. It's just lights in the woods.
That were following us.
Yeah, there's no lights in the woods, Alex. It's just. But anyhow, I'll talk for him because he ain't gonna talk. He went out with my other son because he does a lot of research or did a lot of research, and Alex went with him one time, and that was the end of that.
That was it.
First
No,
and
thank
last.
you.
Done.
I don't want to fall into a portal.
No. No.
All right, let's get back to some of these questions here. They got way behind. Oh my God, did I ever? It's like
I saw one thing that popped up where somebody said something about 2013. My Bigfoot sighting was 22 years ago. The portal sighting was February of 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daniel Weeks. He says, I have the worst luck asking questions. Maybe I'll just ask the worst question. Daniel, I am waiting for your question specifically. I'm just going to sit here. We're all not even going to talk until you ask a question. Okay, Daniel? We're waiting. But I'll look for your question now. I'm just joking you. And we'll make sure your question gets in. I don't know how many I missed. Travis had a statement, not a question. Just hang on. I am looking. Any lasting effects on your friends? She said they both died. So that may be Nixon.
Yeah. The guy that kind of hung back, that only entered the portal for a few seconds, he is healthy. He is well. However, the two gentlemen that went completely disappeared, that went deeper in, they did pass not long after that.
Do you realize there have been portal stories that date back literally, many hundreds of years? I remember my mom telling me portal stories in England of things that happened in the UK that have happened even in the city, where people have just, walked along the sidewalk and then just fallen through the sidewalk, never to be seen again.
Goodness.
But she told me stories like that when I was like 6. And I'm like,
I know you were terrified.
Oh my God. Yeah, I definitely probably held her hand a little bit. But she was, she would tell me adult stories because I was apparently a good audience. But I remember hearing that. But there's many portal stories with Charles Fort, which my dear dad would read me bedtime stories out of. Charles Fort books. Nice. Thanks, Dad. A lot of weirdness. But, you listen to these stories. So when I hear your story, to me, it's like, it's normal. All the missing people, too. I'm sure some of those people probably end up in some kind of portal. They just gone. Yes.
And if my friends had not realized something was not right, what would have happened to them if that possible portal, like I don't know what it is, we call it a portal, what if it would have closed? or dissipated with them completely in it. Would they be gone? I don't know.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, who's got a really good question? Let's see here. Tex says she has had one of the most scary and profound paranormal encounters I've ever heard. Does that make sense to you? Tex from...
Yes.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Oh, I know Tex.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what he's talking about?
You know the story?
I do believe so. I
So
believe he's
it's like a
speaking of
really scary story.
Yeah, with him saying that, I believe possibly he's talking about maybe the guy I had as a patient that was passing away and said that he was
okay.
on
Well,
fire.
let's
Yeah.
start over then. All right, now tell us the story.
So I'm an ER nurse, and unfortunately I deal with the death a lot. And we had gotten in this guy who was actively dying, unexpected death as well. And we were trying to do life-saving measures, but as he was transitioning from life to death, he was screaming that he was burning, his feet were on fire. He was screaming he is burning, his feet's on fire. He was screaming about, it sounded like he was being pulled down like the demons. And the look in his face was complete terror. He was burning. And soon after he started making those comments and were screaming, he passed away. I mean, he coded on us and we did not get him back. So I'm thinking maybe that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's like maybe he was going the wrong direction, if you know what I mean.
Yes, most deaths are not like that, but that one stuck with me. It was terrifying to watch because he was being grabbed by demons and he was burning. And that's what he was screaming as he was dying.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun. Well, you don't know anything about his history, do you?
I don't.
May have been a really bad person. You don't know.
Possibly so.
Robert Hoffman says, any nightmares from your experiences?
Sorry, I'm still getting over this story.
Poor Alex.
The dog's like, all right, next story.
Any nightmares from your experiences? Any hijacker phenomena? That was really interesting. Even Lou Elizondo said he's having, they're seeing green orbs in his home. And he wrote about it in his new book, Imminent. We got to get Lou on our show one of these days. But any hitchhiker things? Get home researching. The there's rocks in your living room, or the shoes are stacked in a pyramid, or hear weird noises. Like I was hearing tongue clicking in my workshop last night, and I'm like, what in the world?
Wow.
I just got the hell out of there. I was like, I couldn't find where the sound was coming from, and it definitely sounded like rock, or not rock clacking, tongue clicking, like very distinct sound. So have you had any nightmares or hitchhiker?
Yeah, actually I have.
Oh, good.
I saw a little question pop up. Any near-death experiences? Not that I'm aware of, unless you want to count the Bigfoot encounter I had where I thought I was going to die, but no near-death experiences. But as far as the hitchhiker effect, it was actually right around 2017. After researching in the meadow, I started having orb, like bluish white light, like orbs come through my bedroom door. Happened about 4 times. And it did this, it would come in my bedroom. The first one was very nonchalant. It will come in my bedroom, go down to the foot of my bed. I would wake up again, even though I feel like I was awake. And I would go back to sleep. I don't know, very strange. And it happened again. It grabbed my legs, like touched my legs. The third time, it grabbed my legs and was pulling me out of bed. The fourth time was horrible. These lights come in the room again. Something grabbed my legs, was trying to pull me out of bed. And there was something that grabbed my arm that felt larger than these little lights, and was trying to grab me and pull me out of bed. I woke up again to my head smashing against the headboard as I'm pulling away from whatever it is that has my arm. I chipped my front tooth. I still have a little chip on it. Thanks, whatever you were. But no, I wake up to my head being smashed against the headboard as I pull away from this thing. And, I don't think this was a dream, but I'm able to fall back asleep, which is odd. And matter of fact, the next shift at work, I worked, and my nurse coworker looked at me and said, "Kristen, honey, what happened to your arm?" I'm like, "Huh?" And I had a full-on handprint with the fingerprints in my arm where this thing was grabbing. Could I have done this in my sleep? Possible, but that didn't look like my handprint. And then I also had scratches on my legs as well. Could I have scratched myself in my sleep? It's possible. But I've never had anything like that happen before. And after that last violent episode of something trying to pull me out of bed, and I was fighting hard, I never had anything else like that happen again.
That you know of.
That I know of.
That is the ultimate scary thing. One, the orbs in the home, and you saw it pass through a solid.
Right. I woke up to those lights coming through my closed bedroom door.
Yeah.
But I wasn't the only one that had lights in their home. My teammate Jessica also had these basically same orbs float through her house, and she has it on video from her cell phone. Her kid, who was, I think he was about 2-ish at the time, 3-ish, was reaching up, chasing around, going, "Ball, ball, ball." So she had that happen as well in her home. She has video. I didn't get video. So yeah, crazy.
Dang. Yeah, and the waking up, that happened to me twice. Years apart, where I would wake up, be in the shower, and I look over and I see jet black. You can see, count 5 fingers, like something grabbed me while I slept and squeezed super hard, because the inside of your bicep is very protected. It's a protected area in your body. You cannot bruise it.
Right.
But when something grabs you and squeezes like with hydraulic force, it can leave bad bruises. And it was really bad. I was shocked, like, what in the hell caused this? And that happened while I slept. But it's happened twice. It hasn't happened in a long time, and I don't ever want it to happen again. I don't know what it was, but it does leave you that gray, that kind of gray basket. What do you do with this? I got real bruises. I didn't have them the day before.
Right.
And I didn't do there was nothing strenuous I did. And there were just distinct handprint. You could see its hand.
Yes.
So there wasn't anything strenuous that you were doing?
No. Alex, you should see how black these bruises are. Like, they're black, like something with hydraulic type force grabbed you and held you, and just kept squeezing and squeezing. It's quite bad bruising. How bad was the bruising on your arm?
Mine wasn't that bad. It was more of a lighter bruise, but it was dark enough for my coworker to look at my arm and say, "Kristen, honey, what happened?" Yeah. But when I sleep and I get up, I work, and I'm getting ready, and I think it was actually this arm. It wasn't something I really was noticing, putting on my clothes, rushing around, getting ready for work. And then my coworker saw me, and I guess it was probably the way I moved my arm, and she saw more or less the fingerprints. And I was like, "Oh, my gosh." Like, not only do I have scratches on my legs, but something grabbed my arm in my sleep.
Yeah, it's quite spooky. you wonder. There's not much you can do about it. You just, you got to go on with your life. And
Right.
they got things like this, like the blue orbs you saw. This is like, it happened, but it doesn't, you don't see them anymore, right? You're not seeing them now.
It happened, I think, 4 times. The
4 times, but then
I
done.
heard, and then nothing.
Don't you wonder why that is? Why activity can happen in these little spurts, and then years can go by, and yet people that hear these things, they think we're crazy. But if we were crazy, we'd be seeing them all the time.
True.
It wouldn't be this. 10 years ago, 8 years ago, you'd be constantly having this happen. Somebody had mentioned, yes, you can do sleep paralysis. You can have weird dreams. And yeah, I experienced sleep paralysis once, and it was because I got drugged and basically kidnapped in Russia on a trip I was on for the news. And got robbed, got ketamine and the whole thing. And I experienced that sleep paralysis during the day for almost a month after that experience, because my body would go to sleep, but my brain would be just wide awake. And it's really hard to breathe when you're experiencing sleep paralysis, but it got better every day. But yeah, I'm one of the few people that have actually experienced it in a normal, everyday setting because of this drug that they gave me that really was bad. Super, super bad. Don't ever want to go through that again. So what else we got here? Looking. Not that I can't come up with a million questions, but I just thought it'd be fun to have the audience get really involved tonight. Catherine Forefeathers asks, do you clear your house with something like sage, sprinkle table salt across the thresholds, whatever,
I probably need to, but I've never done that.
Yeah. Part of the thing, most of us don't know how to do that. Caillou said, can you please share what are ways to do research? What are ways to do research, and do you have any advice for others that go out there, in the woods?
Well, first and foremost, do not go alone. Because it's great to go hiking and out in the woods alone, but do not go alone. You need somebody there with you. And as far as researching, find you an active area or secluded area. Maybe do a little research on some Bigfoot sightings, and then also just ask around and kind of hone in on finding you an area. Just get out there. Basically, go camping. Just go camping and be very aware of your surroundings and take everything in. But also don't blame every creek or stick break or tree fall on a Bigfoot either. Just be aware, and if you find something interesting, go investigate. Try to debunk everything. Just get out there. Always keep something with you to where you can notify somebody if you need help, whether that be a satellite radio, cell phone. Man, don't go alone. Be wary. Be careful. Just get out there. Get out in the woods. If you don't get out there, nothing will happen. So,
are you under the impression where it's better for them to come to you, or do you guys get out and walk around, or what is your method?
We have an established base camp area to where we'll have 2 people at what we consider base camp that keep radio communication open with those that go out in the field. Then we set up teams, assigned teams, and we have assigned locations we go to. That way everyone is accounted for. And we will go and we will research those areas, and we actually stay in touch by radio communication. If a group has something going on over here, we may go to that location. But we always have an open line of communication with 2 people in base camp. No one's ever alone because we've had weird things happen.
There you go. Okay. Daniel, he had a question. I'm having a hard time seeing tonight. Says, should I have put more than $10 towards the documentary? And He promised to try another day when she's back.
Uh-huh.
Oh. He said he's going to go troll somebody. Okay. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you. I love it. It's like, I'm going to go troll somebody. Okay, I'm not going to say who. I'm just still looking. Catherine says you should take a salt shaker and sprinkle it in every room and across the threshold. So there you go.
And that's something easy I can do. I can do that.
I always thought you were not supposed to spill salt, though. Is it okay if you sprinkle it? I heard it was bad luck if you spill salt.
Well, I thought like if you spilled salt, you're supposed to like take it and like throw it behind you.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I can definitely sprinkle some salt around here.
I'm looking. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. It looks like I don't think I missed anybody.
Yay.
Anyhow, we're free to. We need some more questions. Sly Fox, where do you think Bigfoot goes in the middle of a natural disaster?
That's interesting.
That's a
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah. I think he would do about like any other animal, just try to find a safe, dry place. I mean, I don't know. I've wondered that myself. You know,
Yeah.
what happens like this hurricane that just come through where there was flooding. I'm sure there was a Bigfoot in some of the areas in North Carolina. I don't know. And they just try to get to higher ground. Probably just, I would imagine they would get close to some trees, hunker down and try bed down. Just my opinion.
I've heard they're really, really good swimmers, but we don't know that.
Mhm.
Just stuff I've heard.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they get in a tree when the water gets high. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Flat Rockland is asking, you don't, he said you don't have to answer this, but how did the two fellas that went into the portal pass away?
Bob passed away of cancer, and Tim passed away of, we don't know. He started having respiratory issues, a lot of shortness of breath. Docs couldn't figure out what was going on. He was actually with a friend of ours and was standing there and dropped dead. We don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't do an autopsy either, so we don't have any final answers.
How old was he?
See, Bob was 70. He was in his 70s. And Tim was, I'm seeing him, 48, 50.
Too young.
Yeah. Maybe mid-40s. Maybe mid-40s.
Yeah, that is young.
Yeah, young, and I'm talking a healthy guy. Like we called him a ninja because he was like unbelievably healthy and fast and strong, and not someone that you would see all of a sudden brought down by these weird respiratory symptoms and then suddenly pass. I mean, possibly a blood clot. I mean, that would have some similar effects, but he was never diagnosed with anything. And unfortunately, he passed quick.
Do you use any of your medical knowledge when you're out in the field at all? Is there anything you've learned?
We actually had a guy go into like SVT. I mean, very odd. His heart rate went sky high. And we ended up having to transport him to the emergency room. He got admitted, sent home. But I'm there if medically someone needs me. I don't have any medications with me. I don't have a lot of medical equipment. But medical-wise, I can't do a lot. I'll offer my opinion. I'm just a nurse. I'll be there if you need me. But other than that, I'm on the phone like 911. Hello.
So do you talk about what you do, with your coworkers, or is it kind of secret?
Oh, no. They know. Everybody knows. At first, when I started researching Bigfoot and also after my encounters, I didn't discuss it because of, oh goodness, I was made fun of so bad. I mean, I was the joke of everything, and still I get joked about, but I don't care because I've speak about this to work and everybody. This is part of me. This is part of my life. This is part of what I do. And now I don't care what other people think. And you would be amazed at even the people that have laughed to me. And then when it's just been like her and I, one of my coworkers and I, she actually pulled me to the side and she said, I had an encounter once. And she was just making fun of me an hour ago. But I let it be known. This is who I am. This is what I do. If you don't believe me, that's okay. I find it hard to believe. I find everything I've seen hard to believe, but it happens.
So it sounds like you've grown a thicker skin over time and are more brave with, what you truly believe.
Yes. Yes, very much so. Have to.
That's how Alex is about his car. He's brave. He doesn't care if anybody sees him driving. He's brave. Anyhow. So Kevin says, Kristen, I'm a nurse and have educated my coworkers on Bigfoot. Have you tried to do that too?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. And then you actually find out they start asking questions after they make fun of you. Then they get interested, especially when I pull out my phone and is like, take a look at this picture. And I even brought my cast of the 2 footprints I made to work one time so people could see them. And they were like, oh my gosh. Maybe she is, not all that crazy.
Super interesting. So, do you have a podcast?
I don't.
You don't?
No, sir. I don't.
You don't have anything to sell? Nothing?
No, sir.
Not a thing.
Just the truth.
Just the truth.
And just my experiences. I would gladly share them all day long.
So, Pure Adrenaline said, you think that it would be a good idea if everybody agreed not to do wood knocks and calls to eliminate the human possibility of the origin of these? It's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I mean, do you ever feel when you get out in the woods, they're crowded and there's people doing wood knocks? And
as popular, I guess you could say, as Bigfoot is now, if you hear a wood knock and you're within an area that has camping, and you don't know, that could be a Bigfoot or it could be your camper, from across the pasture. You don't know. But then again, you do occasionally when you do a wood knock, you will get a response. Mm. So it's kind of like, it's iffy. I mean, it can go either way. I know I was actually at the dam here in the town where I live at. So it's way back in the woods. And I went by myself one night, couldn't sleep. I worked night shift several years ago, and I learned my lesson really quick, not to go alone. And I was halfway out on the dam, just walking the area. It is well lit there, but surrounded by woods. And I heard what people call a power knock. I mean, it was an incredibly loud, like someone took a baseball bat against the crowd.
We call them thunder knocks.
Yeah. Chris Reinhardt renamed them. He calls them thunder knocks because he claimed, I wasn't there. I had to leave a day early, but on the last day during the day, everybody heard it. They said that you could feel the sonic shockwave in there. Maybe they could feel it. They said it was like an explosion or like lightning and thunder had hit right by them. How loud was your power knock?
Oh, it was loud enough to make me go, whoop, time to go.
Did you feel it?
I didn't feel it. It was very loud though. Like it wasn't, I don't think a human could have done this because it was very loud, but I didn't feel it. It was in the woods. And it was more of actually what I would call kind of a higher pitch. It wasn't like a low boom. It wasn't a low thud. It was a higher pitch crack of something. But it was loud enough for make me go, okay, I don't think I'm alone here. And there's no humans anywhere around here. Time to get back home.
What do you think? What do you think they do it?
So I've been introduced by a buddy of mine, Matt. He actually thinks it may be even a vocalization. And I see where he's coming from. Because if I take a tree limb and smack it up beside another tree and do the same a week later with a different type of tree, that sound is going to be different. But the wood knocks I've heard, even the louder one, have all been somewhat similar, or at least close enough in similarity. I mean, are all these Bigfoots picking up the same piece of wood and whacking it against the same type of a tree? I doubt it. So he's leaning even more towards possibly vocalizations. And I kind of see it. It's just, gosh, the power behind it. That would be the thing.
Yeah, how could they do that? The thunder knock, with their voice.
Right.
That seems a little more far-fetched, but I've never heard of thunder knock.
I've always known them as power knocks, and I've heard plenty knocks, but I've heard that one major power knock.
Well, how loud was it? Give me a comparative.
A little bit louder than somebody shooting a large pistol close by. Now, this thing was, like I said, it was further away, but the intensity was like if you fired a large pistol, that pow.
Yeah, I mean that's loud. I mean that's loud. Like, are you talking about a 45 pistol or 22?
No, definitely not a little 22.
Okay.
It'd have to be a 45, a larger pistol.
So I just wonder how in the world they could do I buy into it too, that they're doing it with their body. I can't for the life of me figure out how they get something that loud that's going to send a sonic shockwave to people. I've never experienced it, but boy, those guys just said no. We could feel it. Plus, they could feel like the swinging of something, like the pre-sound to the knock or whatever you call it.
Like the drawback.
Yeah, the drawback. They could hear that too, and it was really loud. And so I'm just like, damn, I wish I would have heard that.
No, that's amazing.
But my luck, I had to go to a conference. I had to leave a day early, so it stunk. I'm looking. Kevin says, I've always thought that knocks are from the chest. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that possibly. I don't know. I've never seen a Squatch. I've never seen a video of anything pick up something and whack a tree.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone do a vocalization. So that's just something we don't know, but it is odd that the frequency is all within the same. The hertz is all about the same on all the knocks that's been analyzed by my friend. But the density of wood varies.
Yeah, big time. Yep.
I don't know. And as far as
I was sorry, there's a delay in the signal. A lot of people don't understand. There's like a 2-3 second delay. And so sometimes we talk over each other because I hear quiet and think there's a pause, but there really isn't a pause on your end and blah, blah, blah. It gets all screwed up. Sorry. I was just going to ask. Oh, damn. Now I forgot what I was going to ask. Go ahead, Kristen, if you can remember what you were going to say.
Oh, I was going to say, as far as vocalizations, possibly they're doing from the chest, from the structure of the throat. I don't know, but I had a weird happening in the woods. I filmed a upright creature. It was November of last year in the woods. Got it on thermal, and it was the same weekend. I was sitting at base camp. We all sit around base camp. It was during the day. From the wood line to my right, thick woods too, I hear my name called. Plain as day. Kristen. It sounds like my friend David who is there. It sounded like his voice. And it was like that, Kristen, like, hey, come here. That kind of, I got your attention. I'm calling you over. And I was just like, wait a minute now. And I'm looking, I don't see anything. It's thick woods. I'm like, what is David doing in the woods? Come to find out, he is not even in that general area. He is way over. And so it kind of makes me go, okay, so I also that night filmed that creature. And was it was it one of those? Were they mimicking his voice and calling out my name? Sounds crazy, sounds odd, but I know I heard my name called from the woods. And then that night I actually filmed something.
So, Mr. Mitchell says the Sietko is depicted with pursed lips. And he's suggesting perhaps they're doing a wood knock versus whistling in the, I don't know, it's like on a totem pole or whatever it's carved into.
That's interesting.
And I don't think, I'm trying to think here, I don't think I see anything. It's I'm going down. I don't want to miss anybody. I feel bad if I have missed somebody. If I've missed you earlier, just get your question here, and we'll kind of wind up here in another 5 minutes. Come on, guys, get your questions. Alex, do you have any questions? I'll pick on you, Alex.
Matter of fact, I'm going to grab my cord right here because my battery just said it's trying to die.
Oh, no.
Me for a second.
Going into battery too, no, it's no problem. Hey, we've had people just drive off on us.
Oh no!
Like we're doing a podcast and they're doing it from their car. All of a sudden, they'll just get in their car and they'll drive off while we're live.
Did you follow have you been following the David Koresh stuff? It seems like no one talks about that anymore.
David, yeah, he just kind of faded away from the news.
Dad, can you kind of give her the highlights of that?
Oh, well, he was another government Pentagon employee, I believe, who had the really high clearance and was working with either naval intelligence. And he came forward and just, was talking about UFOs and how they're real and people have seen bodies and, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
What does that have to do with our conversation? We were talking about aliens.
Well, we were talking about orbs earlier.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, we were. That wasn't aliens.
And then a portal. What is that?
Okay, Alex, let's talk about aliens. Anybody have any alien questions?
Well, you did send me a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you're comfortable talking about it, but there was this stuff. Was it like on a FLIR?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're welcome to show those and share those videos.
So Alex has been holding back.
Yes.
Material.
Yes, I have.
It sounds like Alex. Please.
Yeah. So I don't even know where to start. You sent quite a lot of clips here, but
yeah, the clips I had to unfortunately break up. That right there is when I filmed whatever it was in the woods. And I thought, because I heard something before, there it was. At the base of the tree to the bottom left, you can see it step out. And it's the same color as the tree.
I think we have some other ones too.
And that is of the possible portal. Looks like where the guys are starting to walk in. And then unfortunately I had to split the clips up because of it wouldn't send. It was like file was too large. And that's
so there's a potential portal over there?
Yes, this is when the portal had disappeared off the thermal. This is where it was. And the guys, we were directing them to where it was. There were 3 guys. And they walk in single file and actually disappear.
Do we have footage of them disappearing? Or we just got to let it play?
Oh, no, I actually sent it. Yeah, it's in one of the little files. There are multiple little files.
So I'll just go through them. You sent like 9. If you just want to, if anything, sticks out to you, if you want to.
Sure. And that is where back in last year in November, it was at the bottom left at the base of the tree. It was behind the tree and you can kind of see it step out right there. And unfortunately, not that still with the thermal. That's it looking at me. It turns to walk off and then decides, no, I'm more interested in her. And it turns back and is looking at me at the center of the screen.
How is it? Are you zoomed in quite a bit?
And so on that one, we tried to kind of stabilize. But it's a ATN OTS 4T, and it stays on 4x zoom or 4x zoom. So I was not zoomed in there. It automatically was 4x. And that may be where one starts to fade out.
Yeah, I saw that. Back that other one up, Alex. Why do you? Yeah.
So it's
just back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up.
Right there.
Back it up a little more. There you go, right there. Play it.
Gone.
Yeah, you see it disappear.
And logically, my mind's thinking, oh, because there is a line of trees back behind there. Oh, they walked into the wood line. Well, those trees are so scraggly and no foliage. There is not enough cover to hide the heat signature. We have went back and tried to recreate. This was the cold winter. You cannot disappear. Matter of fact, there is a ridge behind that. And even a human standing on the ridge, it would look like actually halfway up. You can clearly see a heat signature. There's no way that someone could not step behind a tree, but they literally disappear one by one, just like that.
All right, I'm not following this one here.
So on the left side, there's like the V, which is 2 trees.
Okay.
At the base of it, you can see it's a figure.
Oh,
kind of step out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I was thinking that's a tiny little tree.
No, that's actually the creature.
You're up above, sort of looking down.
Right. And it walked away from me.
Yeah, no,
and kind
I
of got
did see
behind
that.
that set of trees.
Did you see it, Alex?
Is it
Look
right
at the bottom
here?
of the V. The bottom of the V. You gotta back it up.
Okay.
Right
Oh,
there.
okay. I think I see it.
And it actually did that 2 or 3 times, and it would step back and then it would pop back out.
Yeah, no, I clearly saw that. Yep. And what are we looking at here?
And that's the 3 guys coming back out.
Ah, gotcha.
And they are just re-emerging.
Did they notice anything?
Yes. The last guy, which was the first guy coming back out, he said not so much, somewhat of a difference, but the first 2 that went in, which is the last 2 that come out, that's when they said it was like a black curtain dropped in front of them. The atmosphere changed. They did have somewhat of a temperature change. And they said it felt different. They knew something was not right. So that's when they turned around and come back out. And it logically, and what I was thinking was they walked into the wood line. And it does look like possibly they could have, but if you go to that area, you can go all behind there and you cannot hide a heat signature.
Yeah.
And at the same time, in that little clump of trees right there to the right, set on white hot, there was something in there. Of course, that could have been an animal. I don't know. But it was an odd signature. But there they are, re-emerging.
Yeah,
Something.
that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. You can kind of see that it's dissipating at that point. You can somewhat make out the cross on the left-hand side. Like I said, unfortunately, it's dissipating. If David could have recorded what he saw and what I saw through his thermal, it was a box emitting heat with like heat up under it.
So how big is that tree?
I'll actually be going out there, I leave Friday, and I'm going to try to find that tree, the exact spot, so we can do some size estimates.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you don't have any reference, It can be kind of confusing.
Yeah.
But I
It's hard to-
definitely, I definitely see it.
Yeah, definitely get the height. That'd be
Something
great.
was alive there. That's for damn sure.
Something was, and I never saw it when I was filming at that moment. What clued me in was I heard like something step on a tree branch, like the crack of a tree branch, like something stepped. And so, of course, I turned my thermal on, I'm looking. Well, then I started feeling very creeped out, like I was being watched. I call it the heebie-jeebies, like very creeped out. And so I just kept my thermal pointed in that general area where I felt like something was watching me. And I'm looking through this little viewfinder, and I'm expecting a heat signature to be very prominent, where this thing that I filmed matched the temperature of the trees and the foliage. And then I see a flying squirrel, a couple little flying squirrels. I'm like, oh, well, that's what I heard. And I filmed them for a few minutes. I'm like, no. And I go back to it.
What's this last one?
So that was a small little clip right after I got my FLIR. When I first started researching, I took it in Elbert County, riding down back roads about 3 a.m. And I'm passenger. My ex-boyfriend at the time was driving. And I come upon this where it's a little clearing. And it's a good ways off. And I'm like, what is this? I tell him, I say, whoa, stop. I'm getting something. And I'm sitting here looking at this. And then, as you can tell, it moves. He takes on off because I didn't say anything. But whatever it was, it looked like it had movement. It looked like it was upright, possibly a conical shaped head. And this is in an area where a Bigfoot has been sighted several times in Elbert County. Now,
That's interesting.
Can I say that's what it was? No, but it's odd.
By the way, you have a local radio morning show request from Daniel Huff. He said, would you be willing to join them on the Morning Madness radio show sometime?
Sure.
And he said the station is located in Morgan County, Georgia. If you know where that is.
I don't.
So you can get a hold of Alex at Alex at UntouldRadioAM.com, and you can pass on her contact information for you, Daniel.
Yes. I'd be honored. Thank you.
There you go. All right, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you
for
guys.
coming back on and getting deep into all this other weird stuff. It's fun to talk about. We don't know what the hell we're dealing with, but it's part of research. No doubt it's part of research, but thank you so much. Thank you everybody in chat. Thanks to all our moderators. And we will be back next week, won't we, Alex?
Yes, we will.
And remember, one day we're all just going to be a memory, all of us. So just do your best to make sure you're a good memory. So with that, good night, everybody. We love y'all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good night. Thank you.
Call you up in the middle of the night. Been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. I'll pick you up in my 59 Ford. We head on down the road until we get bored. Just you and me and the sun and the wind. If the rain should start falling, we'll head on home again. Everybody else can see where we belong. Oh, ain't no ordinary love we got going on. At the end of the world, together forever is one, and I'll wait. If ever you should be in doubt, and I'll pray they never can pull us apart, and I'll wait for the time when we'll be together hurricane.